I said to him, I can't help you, mate. The only people that I know is the people that I've told you about, that I had some staff that were doing some underhand stuff that we know about, and they were after him. And I said, yeah, George Dalamanis, a guy called Scotty, they were all fabricating letters and they're signing their names as director of the company.
Of PageGR?
Correct.
These are employees of PageGR?
Ex-employees. And then the investigators already knew about this. They're the ones that opened my eyes and said, Manny, who are these people? I said, mate, you can check ASIC. Me and my sister are the only directors of this company, and my ex-partner Daniel Schultz. Apart from that, there's no other directors of this company, and they're no longer directors. I'm the only director of the company.
What about Daniel?
Daniel,
yeah.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
He was married to my sister, which was my partner when we started the business. And if you can imagine, remember a 24-year-old person working 90 hours a week when we first started the business. He couldn't do it. He was 23, all his mates were going out. He just wanted to party, so he ended up splitting up with my sister and moved on.
Here's something I'm curious about. I've already told Ms. Core about this. Alright, so I've only done 2 PageGR cases so far, and both times the applicant, so Ms. Core for example said that she had, when she first visited PageGR, she came with 10 or 15 other students. And her evidence was similar to the other applicant who claimed to work at PageGR, in that
Rupinder, the guy that's working over at
yes, I think so.
in Coburg in the bakery.
Nobody's able to identify any other Della student that also worked at PageGR Design. Now it might be that you know better why this is than our applicant knows. So they don't seem to have run across any other Della student or any of their fellow students of Della that worked at PageGR Design. But I gather there was quite a lot of Della people who had really worked at PageGR Design.
Like I told you, the first instance that people came, we had 20 students from Della. They were all from Asian background. I remember that quite clearly because it was the first time.
But why is it that some students don't know anyone else that worked at PageGR Design from their own college?
I'm not sure. But
how are the shifts organised, for example?
Because the shifts run 24 hours a day, the students mainly would work. Very few of them worked overnight, and if the ones that did were males, because there was a fair bit of lifting involved and 25 kilo bags of flour, so for occupational health and safety reasons, we kept women mostly during the day. So anywhere from like 9 o'clock in the morning till say 7 o'clock at night, that's when those shifts would take place, where they'd come and work, and we'd have a couple of students at a time upstairs, especially in pastry, because at that time we had at least 4 or 5 pastry cooks upstairs plus the cleaner, and then the area becomes claustrophobic when you've got 20 people in one section. So
Ms. Core can't name any other students that worked at PageGR in the 1 year that she was there.
Well, I'm not sure why, but there was other students there at the time.
Now, do you speak Punjabi, Ms. Core? Did anybody at the time, any of the permanent employees in PageGR speak Punjabi?
Well, all the boys that are working for me currently, and as paid employees, they did the 900 hours, and now I've only sponsored 2 of them. The rest of them went through the whole process and got PR there. They're still with me. Now I'm not sure what the dialect is that they speak. They're all Indian. Some wear a turban, some don't.
What about 2008, 2009?
Yeah, 2008, 2009.
Michael was Angela. I presume they don't speak.
No. Michael is Australian, so is Angela. She's married a Nepalese person, but Michael is full on Australian.
And Ben,
Ben's Italian.
He wouldn't have spoken Punjabi.
No.
So, Ms. Kaur, how did you get by? It's not that your English is that bad, but in 2008 and 9, I guess your English wasn't as developed as it is now in 2014. How did you get by at PageGR with your English?
No, I can speak English, but because this is my first time, like I'm getting nervous, then that's why that's why I start Punjabi. That sometime we get nervous and we can't make the words. That's why.
Oh, I see.
I have no problem in
So it's only for me you're speaking Punjabi. I see.
Sorry about that, but I have no problem.
I've got a person there now. His name's Francesco. We've just gone through the process of hiring him on a 457 visa. His nomination is going through. He's from Sicily. When he came to me, he couldn't speak a word of English.
So how do you?
It was just all by hands. And it was difficult because back in Italy they work in pounds and Fahrenheit, and we use the milligrams or the kilos, and it was all just by giving him a recipe. I mean, he could understand what we're doing, and he's been with us now for a year, and he's just got his nomination, and he spent a whole year at an English school here in the CBD. Which I'm taking another person tomorrow morning to enrol at for full-on English, because his English is not good. He's from Greece.
But these people were good bakers. Why would you take someone who couldn't speak English?
Because you can't find people, remember. You just can't find skilled people. And in Sicily, they're renowned for being great pastry cooks and fantastic with ice cream. Ice cream we don't do, but his cakes are amazing. And we took him on. And now we're going through the 457. Nomination's been done. So he'll be with me for 3 or 4 years, and I've still got Bimal, who he needs to fly out of the country to Singapore at the end of the week to so that his nomination goes through, and then I can sponsor him and he can stay with me. So you just can't find people. It's almost impossible to find any young people that want to do. Why would they come into this industry? When I was 16 in '84. And I wanted to go into this field. There was none of these things around. Certainly wasn't the internet around. There was just so many people going into trades like electricians, plumbers, painters, carpenters. You put in all my people that I use now, electricians, they're all like 65 years old and they're working 90 hours a week because no young people want to go into the trades. And just what's the incentives? The hourly rates, like. Well, why would you do that when you can go get paid $25, $30 an hour working in an office? Why would you come and work as a pastry cook apprentice for $9.50 an hour? There's just no.
Let's all. Normally, the tribunal doesn't speculate, but in a situation where there really is no evidence as to why Emirante had your work reference, I'm actually going to encourage all of you to, as I said to you, Miss Court, to guess. Because even if there was a theoretical reason as to why he would have it, that is better than nothing, right? As to why he would have that reference. So if we were to just briefly go on a guessing exercise, what could be the possible explanations? Because this is the major hurdle that you need to get over, and it's the major hurdle that I need to get over. If I'm going to give you a positive decision. So I keep coming back to it because when this hearing is over, I have to go away and think about it anyway. So I might as well think about it while you're all here so that you can help.
Who knows me about it? These people come, I ask them some of the fees that they pay at the schools. They're between 25, some students have paid $35,000 to go and do training at these schools which don't have any facilities. Who knows what happens in the background? Who knows what's happening with the teachers, with the people that own these businesses? Who knows what they're doing? They could all be feathering their own nests, paying each other, everyone's taking a cut. How do you know? We don't know. All I know is that the schools brought them down to us, and I'd ask them, I said, what do the students actually pay you? And they go, oh no, 25, 30 grand. And I'm saying,
for the course.
For the course. And I'm saying, well, you haven't even got a stove. I seen some of the photos that they had in the kitchens, and it was like they had a KitchenAid. Like, what are you going to do with that? Like a KitchenAid, my 6-year-old plays with that at home. Like, what are you going to do with a KitchenAid in a classroom with like 30 students? This is just a joke.
So no guesses for me?
Well, that's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm saying. That if anything, they're all behind the scenes taking a cut from students' fees, and that's how he may have had one of her letter. I don't know.
So the thing is that if it all went down the way that we think it went down, and that is that Miss Claude did her at least 900 hours, I can explain why the letter was given to her by Della in the circumstances you're talking about, where the college basically drafted